Good morning, children. This is our next video on fundamental unit of life, that is cell. This is part 3. Yesterday we have done plasma membrane and diffusion and osmosis. Today we will cover 3 topics: cell wall, nucleus and also cytoplasm. So first we start with cell wall. Cell wall, you must be knowing that cell wall, it is not present in animal cell. Only in plant cell and fungi and bacteria. The cell wall is present in plants, fungi and bacteria, and cell wall is absent in animal cells. In animal cells, the cell is bounded only by plasma membrane. Here, after the exterior to plasma membrane, cell walls are present. So, in plants, cell wall is made up of cellulose. Cellulose is a chemical, it is a polysaccharide made by many, about 1000 or more than 1000 units of simple sugars like glucose. But the arrangement is so that cellulose is different from the starch. Starch is also a polysaccharide, cellulose is also a polysaccharide, and both are made up of simple sugars like glucose, but their joining or their bonding is different. That's why cellulose is different from the starch. So in plants, complex sugar, this cellulose made by complex sugar is present. In fungi, a chemical known as chitin, the cell wall is made up of chitin, and in bacteria, the cell wall is made up of glycan. In bacteria, outside the cell wall, capsule is also present. So this is about the presence of cell wall in different living organism. Now, if we put a leaf, a plant name is, an experiment is done, a plant name as Rio discolor. The name of the plant is Rio discolor, it is EO. Rio discolor, if we take the leaf of this plant, the leaf is something like that. On the lower side, it is purplish red in color. So we take a peel of this plant, of this leaf, Rio discolor, and we see it under the microscope. We are doing the experiment for plasmolysis. Now what is plasmolysis? Plasmolysis, the contents of the cell. What are the contents of the cell? This is cytoplasm having nucleus and other cell organelles. Together with cytoplasm and nucleus, together they are known as protoplasm. So protoplasm shrink away from the cell wall. It is known as plasmolysis. What is plasmolysis? In normal condition, this is the cell wall, this is plasma membrane. Plasma membrane is outside this cytoplasm. This is cell wall, double, and this is plasma membrane or cell membrane. In all the cells, this is cell membrane, the red color one, and this is the cell membrane. So, when the cell is put in hypertonic solution, yesterday we read what is hypertonic. When a plant cell is put in hypertonic solution, what happens? This solution, the plant, the cytoplasm, it starts giving off water to the outer atmosphere and it becomes dehydrated. The water goes outside the cell and the protoplasm, it starts receding from the cell wall. It starts shrinking and it starts coming away from the cell wall and a compact mass of protoplasm is formed. This is known as plasmolysis. What we do, we take a peel of this Rio discolor leaf, this peel, it is put on a slide, glass slide, and some solution, salt or sugar solution, concentrated salt or sugar solution is put on this peel. After placing cover slip, we start looking in microscope. Within few seconds, what happened before putting the solution? The cell is like this. When the solution is put, concentrated salt and sugar, what happens within few seconds? This protoplasm, it starts receding. It starts shrinking and it is coming away from the cell wall. You can see here, it is coming away from the cell wall. This is vacuole. It is having cell sap, and the water from the cell sap or the vacuole, it comes out the cell under X osmosis, because the outer solution is concentrated. So osmosis takes place and the water from the cell, it comes out, and the protoplasm, it starts shrinking. This vacuole, it is diminished, and ultimately after few seconds, whole of the vacuole, it is diminished, so that a compact protoplasm is formed and it is present at one side of the cell, and this area, it is filled by the hypertonic solution. Why it is filled by the hypertonic solution? Because now there is no cell membrane which is semi-permeable. This cell wall is permeable to water and other molecules. So due to the permeability of cell wall, all the outer solution, it comes in, and this is the cytoplasm. It confined to one side of the cell. So this is plasmolysis. So now next one thing about the wall pressure and Turgor pressure. This cell, it exerts two type of pressure. One is Turgor pressure and other is the wall pressure. Now what is Turgor pressure? This is a plant cell. It absorbs water, and when the water is absorbed by the cell by osmosis, it swells up. So when it swells up, this cytoplasm, it exerts and pressure. This these red lines, this cytoplasm, it exerts a pressure on the wall of the cell. So this pressure which is exerted by the cytoplasm on the wall is known as Turgor pressure. Now an equal and opposite pressure is exerted by the wall of the plants, and this pressure is known as wall pressure, and due to this wall pressure, the plant cells, they do not burst. They remain in turgid state. When there is Turgor pressure, the plant cells, they remain in turgid state, and due to this turgidity, the plants, they stand erect, and the rigidity is due to this Turgor pressure in the plant cell. Again, I explained that due to osmosis, it has more water. Due to more water, Turgor pressure is created, which is applied, exerted on the wall of the cell, and in response, wall also exerted a pressure known as wall pressure on the cytoplasm, and both are opposite and equal, and plant cell do not burst. Yesterday we have seen that if RBCs or red blood cells are put in concentrated solution, they burst, but in hypotonic or less concentrated solution, they burst. But here the plant cell, it does not burst. When this solution is, the outer atmosphere here is hypotonic, the less concentrated, and the water goes in, and two types of pressures are exerted by this plant cell, and this cell is known as turgid, and it gives rigidity to the plants. So this is about the plants, about the cell wall. The next important cell organelle is nucleus. All of us know about the nucleus. If this is cell, this is the nucleus and this is the cytoplasm. This is plasma membrane, and in plants this is cell wall. So plasma membrane, cytoplasm and nucleus. These are three important parts of a cell. Nucleus, it takes about 10% of the total cell volume. It is the biggest organelle, and it takes about 10%. Nucleus is said to be the brain of cell. Why it is known as brain? Because it controls all the cell activities which are there for the perpetuation of the cell or for functioning of the cell. All the activities are controlled and coordinated by this nucleus. Now the structure of the nucleus, simple one. It has the outer membrane. It is known as nuclear envelope. Nuclear envelope. This is the outermost membrane of the nucleus, and it is, as you can see, it is double layered. 1 and 2. 2 layers are there and it is double layered. So this is nuclear envelope or nuclear membrane. You can see in between the nuclear membrane there are gaps. These gaps are known as nuclear pores. And by these pores, some of the material from the nucleus, it can come out and some can go in. There is these few pores are present on nuclear envelope, and this nuclear envelope, it is also joined to endoplasmic reticulum, which we will study next. So this is nuclear envelope, double layered and having nuclear pores. Now inside the nucleus a fluid is present. This fluid is known as nucleoplasm. And the most important, this entangled thread-like mass. What is this? This entangled thread-like mass is known as chromatin. You have heard about the chromosomes? Chromosomes. But no chromosomes are seen here inside the nucleus. Also, although we know that chromosomes are present inside the nucleus, then what is it? It is that when the cell is not dividing, when cell is at resting state, chromosomes are not there. Chromatin material is there, which is like the entangled mass of DNA and protein. So what is chromatin and what is the relation between chromosome and chromatin? They are one and the same thing. When it is in thread-like state, it is known as chromatin, and when it is at the time of cell division, this chromatin, it thickened and it take the shape of chromosomes. It is a divided chromosomes. It is undivided chromosome. So, are you following? When the cell is at rest stage, then whole of the DNA, it is in the form of chromatin, and at the time of cell division, this chromatin, it thickens and chromosomes are formed. This is the structure of chromosome. Now chromatin is made up of DNA plus proteins. These proteins are known as histoproteins. All of you know DNA is the genetic material. Deoxyribonucleic acid. So the full form of DNA is deoxyribonucleic acid. It is the genetic material. What do we mean by genetic material? Genetic material means it transfers characters from one generation to the next generation. So this chromatin material or chromosomes, they contain DNA, which is very important for the living organism, because only through the deoxyribonucleic acid or DNA, characters from parents to the offsprings, they are transferred. We say that some active parts of DNA, they are known as genes. So what is genes? Genes is a part, a segment of DNA which helps in transfer of characters from one to the next generation. So this chromatin is made up of DNA and protein, and at the same time of cell division, this chromatin, it condenses and these structures are formed. This is single chromosome, this is centromere, and these are two arms. At the time of in between the cell division, this divided vertically and two arms are formed. This is known as one chromatid and this is the other chromatid. So one chromosome, when it splits longitudinally or vertically, two chromatids are formed. So we can say chromatid is half chromosome after dividing the chromosome vertically. So this is the relation between chromosome and chromatin. In human beings, we have 46 chromosomes all, which are present in 23 pairs. So the number of chromosomes are fixed in a living organism. Like in human beings, they are 46. In Pisum sativum or the garden pea or the green pea, they are 14. So the number of chromosomes, they are different for different organisms. So this is about the chromatin material, nuclear envelope. Now this is the fluid inside this nucleus. It is known as nucleoplasm. This fluid is known as nucleoplasm. It is a jelly-like substance, and one important component of this nucleus, it is known as nucleolus. It is a round ball-like structure. It is also present inside the nucleus, nucleolus. It is very important as it produces ribosomal RNA. And this ribosomal RNA is for the production of ribosomes. And these ribosomes, they are the main functionary unit for production of protein synthesis. In our body, everything is made up of proteins. We have thousands and thousands of enzymes which are proteinaceous, made up of protein. And without these enzymes, our biochemical reaction cannot take place. So these ribosomes, they are made up of RNA and some proteins, and this rRNA means ribosomal RNA. It is being produced by nucleolus, which is present in the nucleus. Sometimes one, sometimes two nucleolus can also be present inside the nucleus. So this is about the structure in brief of nucleus. And now coming to the functions of nucleus. There are 3, 4, 5 important functions. You know, nucleus is the brain of cell. The first important function is it contains DNA. The genetic material, you can write here, it contains DNA, and this DNA is for controlling hereditary characters, as I have just said. So the first function of nucleus is controls hereditary characters as it has DNA or deoxyribonucleic acid. The second function is it controls cellular metabolism. All the functions of the cell, they are being controlled by this nucleus. Then protein synthesis, we know messenger RNA is formed inside the nucleus. It comes outside This ribosomal RNA are produced by nucleolus. So protein synthesis, which is a very important function of the living organism, it is being controlled by protein synthesis. Then cell growth and cell division. This is the important function of nucleus. All the cell growth is metabolism, differentiation, and the division of cell in by parting. One cell divides into two. It is all governed by this nucleus. Then we have discussed nucleolus is present, which is for the production of ribosome units by formation of rRNA. So these are the important functions of nucleus. Nucleus is like the director of a company. As a company, it is managed by director. In the same way, whole of the cell, it is managed by nucleus. Now, this is about the nucleus. Now, depending upon the type of nucleus, living organisms, they are divided into two types. One is prokaryotic, karyotic organisms, and second is eukaryotic organisms. So depending upon the type of nucleus, the organism, they were divided into pro and eukaryotic. Pro means primitive or early, which are not developed. Karyon means nucleus. Karyon means nucleus. So if the nucleus is primitive, not developed fully, or early nucleus is present, then the organisms are prokaryotic. And the example of prokaryotic organisms are bacteria and blue-green algae. So these are the examples of prokaryotic. They are having a primitive nucleus. What do we mean by primitive nucleus? Primitive nucleus means the nucleus is like this, but it is not having this nuclear envelope. These primitive nucleus, they are devoid of this nuclear envelope. Nucleolus is also absent, and instead of many chromosomes, a single chromosome, single ring chromosome is present like this inside the cytoplasm. This is the single chromosome, a ring chromosome present inside. This is the structure of a bacterial cell. So this is the nucleus, which is devoid of nuclear envelope. No nucleus, nothing, a naked. It is known as naked, without any covering, naked chromosome. So this is the naked chromosome present inside the cytoplasm, and a term nucleoid is given to this. So this is not said as nucleus, we call it nucleoid. I think this is the spelling of nucleoid. I am not certain. So this is a nucleoid. It is not nucleus. It is a single naked sorry. It is a single naked chromosome present inside the cytoplasm. So what are the other features of prokaryotic cells or the bacterial cell? Bacterial cell has three coverings. This is capsule. This is cell wall. We know bacteria, they have cell wall. And the third one is plasma membrane or cell membrane. So three coverings are present, and these are known as pilus. Singular is pilus and plural is pili. So these outgrowths, pilus or pili present. These are the flagellum. Flagellum may be one, two or many. And the important thing is this bacterial cell or prokaryotic cell, they do not have any membrane bound cell organelle. In eukaryotic cell, we have many cell organelle. We will study afterwards like mitochondria, chloroplast in plants, then Golgi bodies, then endoplasmic reticulum, many are there. But in prokaryotic cell, no cell organelle is present which is having membrane. So the work of these cell organelle, it is done by this plasma membrane. It has certain infolds at many places, and this infolding of plasma membrane here, it is known as mesosome. This mesosome, it works somewhat as mitochondria in eukaryotic. There are ribosomes present. This is the cytoplasm. Inside the cytoplasm, ribosomes are present. If many ribosomes unit, they are together, then it is known as polyribosome. Certain food vacuoles are present. And one important thing, this is known as plasmids. In bacterial cells, we have plasmids which are having a small fraction of DNA also. So it is in brief the structure of bacterial cell or the prokaryotic cell. Now U means true. The opposite of pro is eukaryotic. They are having true karyon or true nucleus, which we have just studied, which is covered by a nuclear membrane. So this is the differentiation in living organism depending upon the type of nucleus. So this is about the nucleus. The third topic here is cytoplasm. Cytoplasm, it is, if this is the cell, this is the nucleus. The whole of the fluid outside the nucleus, it is known as cytoplasm, and it is bound by the nuclear this plasma membrane. It is a jelly-like substance, and it has many cell organelles embedded in this cytoplasm. So all the cell organelles, they are embedded in cytoplasm, and it covers the entire volume of the cell. Nothing more is there for cytoplasm. In the next video, we will learn about different cell organelles. So this is, in this cell part 3, we have learned cell wall, nucleus, prokaryotic and eukaryotic cells, and cytoplasm. This is all for today. Thank you.